There we go, that's what a home win at Goodison Park sounds like. Everton so dominant today, all over the pitch. But the striking thing for me was the physicality. Absolutely bullied Bournemouth from minute one all the way through. They were completely and utterly the dominant force. Players just coming out to the God Street now. Yeah, Everton absolutely battered them today. They were a poor side. Didn't seem to know what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go with the ball, and they coughed up a couple of clangers, and Everton were just all over them. Totally dominant, ruthless when they got chances, and we got to see a few little flicks and tricks, new songs at the end there. I'm glad the Corey's giving it loads. He was excellent today. Loves playing against these. There you go. Let's get here. It's party time. Just coming over to the God Street, giving a shirt to a fan. He was outstanding today. I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, but I thought he was our best player. Brilliant to see him back. Last player going off, Amadou Onana, and he was a few rumours about him before kick-off, but he played pretty well. A good day, a comfortable 3-0 win at Goodison when the opposition melted down. It's been a while, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it. Enjoy it long into the night. And Arna's just giving it the big fist pumps there at the end as well. So, up the Toffees. We'll speak to you soon at Denbigh Castle. Yes, we are back outside the Denbigh Castle. Les, Keith, Laura with me. Keith, summarise that game in 30 seconds.
James Garner is a central midfielder, and I will not hear otherwise. And if I see him on the right wing again, then there will be a hostage situation, and Sean Dyche will be in big trouble because he absolutely ran the game there, didn't he? Let's be honest. That win today's all come from James Garner's positioning and his ability to get on the ball and dictate the pace of the play. So, James Garner, centre mid.
There we go. Let's start there then. Les, I mean, where did that come from? It was just very weird, and unsettlingly weird how easy that was. And I just think Everton I know Keith's right about Garner. I think his technical ability was on show today, but I just think we just bullied them from after 20 minutes. They did not want to know today.
No, first off, shout out to Jimmy Bidston.
Yes,
get that out there. It was a routine win. We've actually forgotten what a routine win is like now. Most Premier League clubs who aren't circling the drain of relegation probably get that about 8-10 times a season. You know, the opposition turn up. You turn them over quite easily. It was just a nice routine win, just to sort of calm everyone down from the hysteria of last week. I think last week would have gone the same way had we scored early. Had we not hit one of those chances on target last week and scored one of them, I think it would have followed the same pattern, because we got that early goal, but even after 20 minutes then we kind of let them back in. They were getting corners and free kicks and stuff. It kind of followed the same pattern, but we had that one goal cushion. Weirdly, they weren't as good as Luton on corners and free kicks. They were just dreadful today. And we can't we can't get carried away with ourselves. I think everyone said last week, Luton are as bad a team as you're going to see at Goodison this season. Bournemouth was somehow worse, but we still had to win the game, and we won it comfortably in the end. And it's nice. It's almost like a summer's evening outside the Denbigh. It's almost like a summer's evening outside the Denbigh Castle.
How about those fucking Toffees,
I'm
baby?
having a great time watching them Toffees.
I don't know how we've ended up here.
That's what happens when Everton win. We just fucking lose our minds.
But I think Les is right there, isn't he, Laura? We can talk about so much of the game and who played well and what happened afterwards, but it is all about that first goal, isn't it? Getting that first goal just calms everybody down. We can sit in a bit, we can play open, like on the counter, we can exploit the space a little bit, and it just sets us up perfectly today.
Yeah, and I think Keith was right in saying, like, with Jimmy Bidston playing in the middle, just controlling the game so much better. Like, I know, obviously, today, Onana wasn't due to start, and Garner Gay had been sort of the last sort of switch out. He's got injured in the warm-up, but Onana played really fucking well today.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been his biggest fan most weeks, and I think probably losing Garner Gay allows them to have a bit more freedom. And obviously James Garner coming into the middle rather than on the right, and having Jack Harrison on the right, it's just adds more sort of attacking threat going forward. And also, no one's mentioned his finish, by the way. First time finish.
We're only 3 minutes in, yeah.
Are we 3 minutes in? No, I feel like I've been here for ages. Jack Harrison's first time finish, by the way, that was unreal. What a way to... his debut at Goodison today, wasn't it? First start even at Goodison today, and I thought he had a great game. But yeah, I can't even remember what you asked me at the start, to be honest, Matt.
It was something about the early goal. But,
the early goal, oh yeah. I think it goes back to what Les said before, like, against Luton last week, we'd started so well. I thought, for the first opening 15-20 minutes, as we all thought, we were on top. We'd had plenty of chances, we just couldn't finish them. I think today we've shown that we can do that. I don't think either Bournemouth or Luton are a great side. And to be honest, they're two of the teams that I'd have put at the start of the season to be in and around relegation, probably with us and a couple of other teams. I just didn't think Bournemouth had anything about them today, but I really don't want to focus on Bournemouth and how bad they were when I thought Everton played so well. Like, there was some, better sort of Jared Branthwaite as well. Again,
yeah.
He had another stormer. Some of the tackles he's putting in, and I genuinely think he can go one step further than John Stones.
I mean, that is a lot.
So that is a lot, and I have had quite a few pints. So I'm very sorry if in a few years someone comes back to this and says, Laura, you're chatting a lot of shit. That's fair enough. But he looks so calm and composed at the back there. And obviously everyone knows how much I love James Tarkowski, but Jared Branthwaite, for me, he's well above the level that James Tarkowski is. Like, James Tarkowski for me gives me heart palpitations, not in a good way, at least 2 or 3 times a game. But I feel like when I watch Jared Branthwaite, he is so calm, so composed on the ball, and he can read the game so well, and then he can bring it out from the back as well, and his aerial ability. On that note, Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well, I thought he looked back to sort of his best. I know he hasn't scored today, but he's winning those headers, timing his jumps well for his headers. Thought he did really well.
I think obviously in the 30-second summary we spoke about James Garner, who was, for me, comfortably man of the match today. But Laura's spot on there with Jared Branthwaite. He was magnificent at the back. I don't think he missed a header. I don't think he missed a single tackle. Nobody went past him. It's like when the Reds had that stat about dribbling past Van Dijk. How hard must it be to dribble past Jared Branthwaite? Because he's about 6'12", the size of a barn door, but he's got an engine on him, and he can move. He can proper move, and he's just... I don't want to get too carried away on him because he was up against like a couple of car salesmen today, but that was as competent a centre half performance you'll see in the Premier League ever. He strolled it today. He looked like he's been playing Premier League football for years. and that's a huge thing. And the fact the club have actually managed to sign him onto a long-term contract, and I believe Paddy reported that there's no release clause or anything, that's huge. That's a great bit of business from the club, because teams will come calling for him. The likes of United will come looking around him next summer, and Everton are now in a position to command an astronomical fee like they did with Stones at the time. I think
Laura's regretting us, Stones comparison.
Just saying, like, Keith is absolutely right in the sense that, like, you know, getting him to sign that long-term deal and tie him down to that is massive. And for once, the club is making decisions and tying in players where, you know, it's an actual good business decision, not making silly mistakes, basically. So,
We give them a lot of abuse when they do things wrong, so we do need to highlight when they do things right. I also want to touch quickly on Jack Harrison today. I think, obviously, the goal's a great goal. The finish is pure instinctive. He's seen it, he's taken the chance, and it's come off perfectly. But if you notice his work rate in getting back, and it's very similar to McNeil on the other side, in that our fullbacks aren't as exposed when they have a winger that works back, tracks back in, puts the hard yards in, makes the tackles. Even if they make a foul on the halfway line, it's fine, because then you get a chance to get reset, get the defence sorted out. Too many times last season and a couple of times early this season, we've been caught very short on the break, and teams have come at us quickly, and having that man to either make a tackle or just get his body in the way, break the play up, slow it down. They've just turned the music up here, so I'm having to raise my voice.
Last week we got through Liverpool scoring goals, so we'll be absolutely fine.
They scored one, didn't they? Hang on.
I think they might have gone too early on the disco here, but c'est la vie. I think it's a great bit of business, and it's obviously early days. He's only had one start in the league, and he played 45 last week against Luton. But again, it's looking like a sharp signing. It's looking like the sort of players we needed to bring in.
That's unreal.
If he keeps up the way he's playing, obviously he's going to face sterner tests than today. But if he keeps up the way he's playing, it's one of those that you'll have to revisit next summer and say, can we make that a permanent deal?
Yeah, he feels very, very suited to the way Dyche wants to play, doesn't he? Like he's like a quintessential Sean Dyche winger.
He's quite Everton, isn't he? And now that he's sorted out his haircut and got a sensible,
he still looks like a footballer.
I think he's got a sensible short back and sides now, so I can take to him a lot more than when he looked at Leeds, when he looked like he'd gone into the barber and asked for give me one of everything.
No. He's definitely still putting too much gel in there. But then again, state of yours with yours in there.
I mean, you two bickering again. Les, like that goal he scored, like it feels like one of them where like that happens a lot, and like the goalie like spews it. Someone gets it quite far out, so you think it just shoots the lob with him, and like it never really comes off. But like I think like the technical ability to pull that off, and the composure to pull it off was pretty amazing, and it went in off the bar as well, which makes it even better.
Yeah, hit the ball, hit the ground, hit the net, hit the ground again. Yeah, it was unreal. The technique of it, I didn't realise till the replay that he'd hit it, not on the volley because it bounced ball.
It was like a half volley, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the air when he hit it. I thought he'd scooped off the floor. It reminded me a little bit of James Beattie against Fulham that time.
Yes.
Where he just lofted it over, but it was even better than that. It was magic. And I think that was where our nerves kind of settled, wasn't it? We got that 2-0 lead. It was like, okay, yeah, sound though. It did a bit. I went down at half time. Saw a few people that I know down there, and it was like, what's the protocol for like being 2-0 up at half time and quite comfortable? And we were all like, I don't really know.
It was a bit weird, wasn't it? We haven't had that in a long, long time.
No, you want to be happy, but
there's a part of you, isn't there, that goes, this is Everton.
Yeah,
and we could absolutely Newcastle this.
And to throw in a football cliche, it's like 2-0's an awkward score.
Yeah.
I saw Maggie at our time downstairs, and I was like, we'll win this 3-0. Like I had no fear whatsoever today because I think a lot of it was like they were terrible, but it's for like we're just so physically like I just think physically like they look like 11 tiny lads in red and black today, and like we look like 11 massive lads in blue, and like I feel like obviously they're like we scored a couple of like Garner's goal. I think if you watch it back again is better than I thought it was on the ground. Like he smashed it past the keeper. Like I thought initially like he should save that. Harrison's technical bit of brilliance. McNeil plays a great cross for the third, which I think is really good as well. So we had those little bits sprinkled in, which were like good moments of quality. But I just think physically we just battered them. We just beat them up all day, and like they seem to be playing like little passes into the wingers and the forwards. And every time it came in, it was our player in front, knocking them off balance, winning the ball back or making it hard for them. And like I don't know if it's just because like they're set up to play like whatever they're meant to play like, but just. Like we were just dominant, like so much all day today.
I mean, that was the nicest like Everton performance I've seen in a long time. I think Connor said before, like, was when have we ever had such a comfortable win like that in the last 10 years? He said,
since
and I was
Palace, like a year ago.
Yeah, Palace a year ago. But like even at 2-0, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, like my Everton instincts kick in and think one goal back here, and we're looking at probably losing this. But like you say, I think. I'm slightly disappointed. I don't want to say disappointed, or because obviously the result's really good, but we could have had about 5 or 6 there.
Yeah.
And like you say, there was some brilliant football on display. I think, was it Beto, when he came on, had a chance, half a chance, I don't know what you'd describe it as, but there was some really good passing, pushing forward, that I'd not seen from Everton in a while, just to be a bit more composed going forward. And going back to Branthwaite again, but having him at the back steadied us so much more than having someone like Michael Keane. But yeah, that Harrison chance, it was
beautiful.
It was just to hit that the audacity to hit that first time is, well, I said it before to these guys walking out the ground. It was like watching me at 5-a-side. Here we go. We're only allowed to shoot with our first touch at 5-a-side with our training that we do.
I just scored a few like that, have you? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just like to say AC Hoylake Galaxy 2, my new team under 15s won 4-3 today as well.
Are we just plugging us?
Yeah,
you're just like talking yourself up now. Yeah.
Shout out to Wirral Phoenix, who are top of the league, scored 19, conceded 1 in 4 games.
I'll move back onto the Toffees, and like you were saying, Matt, it was nice to see the fact that we just dominated the play there. We imposed ourselves on the game. We took no shit off their plays. We just got ourselves fully imposed ourselves on the game. That is now the baseline. That's the minimum we expect. Bournemouth was shit, but Luton was shit last week and we fucked it. I think that's the absolute minimum we need to expect from that group of players now. Impose yourselves on the game because you've got the physicality and the players to do it. You've got the technical ability to do it. Just don't dick about in games now. I mean, I know the next one coming up, it's quite a tough one.
Let's not dampen the mood by talking about
We won't talk about that. It's quite a tough one, but
There's an international break.
There is an international break. Let's enjoy
the time
that.
off, shall we?
But, when we're playing teams like that who are going to be in and around us, just do that. Don't do what we did against Luton. Just do that. Just be normal, basically.
Josh Bell making his debut on the Blue Room. We just roped him in from scrambling his kebab up the road.
It wasn't a kebab, it was a gyros from the one up to St Luke's.
Sort of difference.
It's been shut for a couple of weeks and it's open now. Thank God it's open again.
I mean, how do you feel about that, mate? I mean, good one to make your debut on, bloody hell.
Oh, do you know what, though? How much of a difference is it? It's just everyone's on a positive ride at the moment. It's great today. What happens when you play players in the right positions?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. We've got James Garner playing centre mid. You know what I mean? He pulls the strings. It's just brilliant. It really was brilliant. And we scored the first few minutes. We settled the nerves. We settled the crowd. Everyone gets behind it. Oh, amazing! Really, really good.
Absolutely, boss. Just probably fit. I mean, no one's listening to me anymore.
I want to say how good it was that we dropped Garner Gay.
Big guys, oh, that's me. My brother, me and my dad were all 6'2 plus. I didn't see that, You shout, will you shout? You call someone a cunt? It's like, you don't shout. That's fucking right, honestly, that linesman on the main stand side, he couldn't see the ball going out because they're fucking being MRFs and still in the line.
To finish off by talking about Calvert-Lewin, Keith, I thought he was obviously scored in his last three and has got the plaudits for that, but I thought that was his best all-round performance for a long time today. It was very reminiscent of like Calvert-Lewin under Silva, where he didn't get a goal, but he did everything else to help the team and the lads around him.
He absolutely terrored their back line, didn't he? Like, not just... So obviously you know his strengths, winning the physical battles, winning the headers and stuff, and I think he did really well with them today, but his pressing as well, his closing down, forced them into hurrying out from the back, and they gave the ball away a lot as a result, and then we got back on the front foot. I think it was without... I mean, he was unlucky not to score, obviously. He hit the bar as well with that header, first half. I think that goal, if he'd scored there, it would have topped off the perfect centre-forward performance. And it's imperative that Everton keep him fit. I know we've said this before, and I know it's a bit of a touchy subject with the fan base, but Everton with a fit and firing Dominic Calvert-Lewin are a different team altogether. You look at, like, Beto's come in and the young lad Chamiti got 5 minutes at the end. They're still young and raw and not used to the league and everything. If Everton are going to find that mid-table mediocrity that we so badly crave this season, we need Dominic Calvert-Lewin to play 30 games. Is that going to happen? We'll see. We'll wait and see. But the signs right now are good, and I'm glad, like Sean Dyche has touched on it as well in his press conference, he's getting back to proper fitness. It's not like he's being rushed in and made to play because we haven't got another option or we have to play Neil Maupay as a lone striker. They've got players they can rotate in and give him that rest and make sure he doesn't have to play the 90 minutes, but he does definitely need to play the majority of Everton's games this season if we are to avoid doing what we've done for the last 2-3 years.
Is it Dyche fitness though? Who knows? No, he's been dead good, hasn't he? It's sort of the comparison between him and Beto. Beto's like a blunt instrument.
There's more subtlety to Dom, isn't there?
There's a lot more to his gameplay, and it's like it's made you realise how much we've missed him. Now I know he gets a lot of stick for his injuries. It's clearly not his fault. It's just one of them, isn't it? You know, I think the fact that he picked up that cheek injury at Villa was like, it just, he might just be one of those players who picks up injuries. But when he's like that, I looked at him today and I thought, he's too good for us. Like, you know, a fully fit Dominic Calvert-Lewin probably walks into Arsenal, something like that. He's a very, very good player. He's a very good footballer. Even though he didn't score today, as you said, Matt, it was a proper, great all-round performance from him. He gave the centre-backs a lot to think about. He pulled players into play. He was just that good. And, you know, as Keith said, if we can keep him fit, and we've been saying this for years, but if we can keep him fit, he could make the difference.
He looks more robust now. Like,
he does actually,
I know we've joked about Dyche fit and whatever, but like it feels like they've taken the time with him, and now he is like, he looks like he's going up for everything, isn't he? And like battling and scrapping for everything. Like
the fact that he stayed on for 80 minutes today, you know, previous seasons we probably would have pulled him out the game. I say pulled him out the game on about 60 there. Do you know what I mean? He got like an hour and then came off, but you know, we got 80 minutes and he still didn't have to come off then. But it was probably the right time to introduce Beto, just do something different. So, he's seeing him today and in the last couple of games when he's played, it shows sort of the quality we've been missing in that position.
There's one dribble like in the first half down by the park end, he just absolutely burnt off like 2 or 3 players.
He's a very good footballer with the ball at his feet, which is surprising for the sort of the stereotype of a striker that he is, the big target man. Good for his feet with for a big man.
I was just going to say the same, yeah.
This is the kind of concept people come to us for, those cliches, yeah.
I think,
Adam Hurry, eat your heart out.
We've had a couple of managers that have tried to, in the past, sort of rush him back because we've had no other options on the bench. That we've relied on Dominic Calvert-Lewin for so long. Having Beto in now has obviously taken that pressure off a little bit more. We've also obviously got Yusuf Chimeti. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of that, but sorry. I've just been handed a pint, sorry. But yeah, I think, I touched on it before, like it was, other than not scoring, he's had a really good all-round performance there, putting himself about. He's timed his head as well. That dribble you mentioned as well, that was fantastic. There was a goal was deserved there, to be honest. And do you know what? He's scored a couple of goals now, and you can see how much that confidence has done him the world of good. I know we talk about like technical ability, but when you're injured, you don't lose that technical ability. It's all about confidence. So coming back from an injury, or injuries in his case, where fans have been on your backs, people on social media have been on your back. He is probably, he's had a lot to work through. He's had a kid. He's not been playing for a while. So to come back, score a couple of goals, that will do his confidence the world of good and will only help Everton Football Club going forward. And you can see that today in his performance. Yeah, he hasn't scored, but to have an all-round performance as strong as he had today, long may it continue. I think Les said, he's played about 80 minutes there today. He probably could have played a little bit more. It's a lot nicer than seeing him play 50, 60 minutes, or in the case of Villa away where he had to be dragged off. That kind of set the precedent for that game at the time. But if we can go into the season with an almost or a fully fit Dominic Calvert-Lewin, then I think we'll be okay. As long as we just, I think people need to stay off his back.
Yeah. Can I just share my favourite moments of the game today? It was that Adam Smith having an absolute hissy fit after our third goal when he thought it should have been disallowed for a foul by Onana, and he went mental at the referee. It was never ever a foul, and he was the one who got Richarlison sent off. Remember all those years ago for feigning the headbutt, and I've had an irrational hatred of him ever since. And to see him lose his shit like that and have a big massive moan and then we scored the third goal was absolutely fantastic.
It's kind of like life comes at you quite slowly, but it caught up eventually. Yeah, I also enjoyed Max Aaron slipping over and just basically fucking everything up since we were linked with him.
One of the other lads did that in the first. Was it that Utara had a proper terrible slip over cross? Didn't he? Keith, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, in the build up to that, it should actually have been a free kick to Everton on the edge of the box, because there was a blow. That referee was stinking again today, wasn't he? He was awful. But
he gave a corner to them in the first half when Solanke boosted clearly out of play.
Me and Les are on he was. Do you know what
he had a couple of shockers. He gave fouls. That one in the first half that he gave, where Calvert-Lewin won an initial header and then it bounced up for a second one, and he gave a foul because the boy went down holding his ribs when Calvert-Lewin hadn't even touched him.
I love still
why are we moaning? Do you know what? I was going to say something positive there. Do you know what I quite like? The fact that we actually capitalised on another team's mistake.
Yes.
Was that the first fucking goal? Yeah. I was thinking, they're not going to do anything here.
And the second to a degree.
The second to a degree as well, yeah. So it was actually quite nice to see us hitting teams when they're hurting. Mags has just turned up with a massive fucking butty.
There we go.
Shout out to Castro's.
We'll leave it there. Everton 3, Bournemouth 0. Wonderful day. Denbigh Disco is on. We will see you on the other side of the international break when it is a trip to Anfield, but let's enjoy tonight.
Yeah, let's not focus on the trip to Casterly Rock yet. Let's have a nice week off. Enjoy your time. Spend some nice time with your friends.
Solace in your loved ones.
No, you don't even need to take solace this week. Embrace your loved ones. Spoil them. Go out and do something nice. Have a nice day out. Take the dog to Delamere Forest.
we going to
whatever you
Delamere
want to do.
Forest?
Are you just outlining your weekend plans for everybody?
Yeah, me
Oh,
and,
mate, I've planned it brilliantly because I'm actually in Geneva for the derby, so I'm not going to see a minute of it.
I think me and Keith are apparently going to Delamere Forest then tomorrow by the sounds of that.
If you're in Delamere Forest tomorrow, you might bump into Keith and Laura and Max. There you go. Is Sky going?
Max won't be there, but Sky will be there.
There we go.
Sky's ready to hearse anyone if they're up for it.
I mean, yeah, there we go. Sky the scrappy dog. We'll leave it there.
She made it onto mailbag, she's made it onto post-match.
There we go.
Water queen.
Yeah, what an attention whore. There we go. Up the Toffees. We'll speak to you soon.